Hello everybody, I am back again, live with Wedding Rise Wednesdays. I'm gonna try to fix this. I am just not having the best day today. This is why we're moving to YouTube. Anyway, thank you guys for sticking with me. Again, we had some technical difficulties there, so I've had to start over. But again, I wanted to welcome you guys to a live recording of Wedding Rise Wednesdays. You've only got a few more weeks of this, and then we are moving to YouTube, and everything is going to be nice quality video and sound. So I do appreciate all of you who have stuck in with me through the rough times. That's how we all begin. So let's jump back in here. Again, the reason that we are chit-chatting today is we are discussing client expectations and how to handle them. I'll jump right back into where I was. If you caught even a little bit, I'm gonna go back and mention what I talked about before. And again, with client expectation, a lot of times with clients, when they book with you or when couples come to you, they really do, they have no idea what they're doing or where they're starting or how to plan or even begin planning a wedding. So setting the expectations for the level of service does start with the vendor or event professional ourselves. It starts with us, and we set that expectation from the moments that our clients call us. They go to our website, they send us an email to when we return those calls. And I know that one of the reasons for me that client expectation is very, very important is when I took my trip to Beverly Hills last year, as well as to the Wedding MBA, I was just amazed at the level of customer service that was delivered at the restaurants that I ate at, as well as the level of customer service that was discussed at the actual Wedding MBA itself. And a lot of that client expectation, as I stated, was set by the vendor themselves. And we have to do that so that we can provide the utmost level customer service to our clients. And it does start with us. So I know, for example, for me, I try on all emails, when you go on my website, any communications, it has my hours of operation, which are 9 to 5 p.m. And I know that some people may say, well, you know, can't you miss some money there? Can't you miss, some talking? What if someone has a question? But I think that one of the things that does have to be remembered, or we have to remind our clients in a nice professional way, is that vendors, wedding professionals, and wedding planners especially are humans. I myself, I am a mom, I am a wife, I am a daughter, I am a sister, I am a friend. And so I have responsibilities in each of those areas, as well as self-care. If I'm not my best self, then I cannot provide the best customer service for my clients because I'm not going to be well. And so we have to take that responsibility on communicating that in a very professional way, where our clients still feel, that they are our number one priority, because my clients are my number one priority. My children would not be involved in the activities, or I wouldn't be able to live the lifestyle I live if it were not for my clients. So I'm very grateful, and that needs to come across in everything I do. But coming across in everything I do, I have to make sure that we're setting those expectations, we're explaining them clearly. Because again, especially when you pay somebody a full service wedding, and so now you've trusted this person with a substantial amount, of your hard earned money. And so I can understand where, oh, I have an idea, so let me text this right quick, or let me email, right quick. A lot of times what happens when that is done is the planner does not want to upset the client or the couple, and they want to answer right away. But then what happens is now we've got communications in different areas. I've got communications on my cell phone, I've got communications in my email, so it makes things kind of jumble. So for me, after attending the Wedding MBA and doing some online, I study online a lot, guys. I listen to a lot of podcasts, I read a lot, and so just studying online and doing my own research, what I have done is I've actually created an onboarding guide. And so not only does my website and my emails have my hours of operation, so that's constantly feeding to my clients, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. But I also do an onboarding guide. So when you book with Silver Confetti Events, we've made the agreement and everything. So what you receive is you receive an onboarding guide, and the onboarding guide assists with how we work, our work process, from communications to setting appointments to sending emails. So as I told you, my hours of operation are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I'm very, very strict about that because, again, my kids have activities, I have homework to do, and then I do need that time to go into the different tasks for the different events that I'm having, to be able to delegate, to be able to set up what's done, to be able to make the phone calls, to be able to set up those mood boards. Those are all different tasks that have to be done, and so I have to delegate my time properly. So in that onboarding guide, it allows people, my clients, to know how to contact me. And it also allows my clients to know that Monday through Friday, no, I'm not going to take any calls unless we have scheduled a conference call after 5 p.m. But it also lets them know that my number one hours are for working and setting up are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this is also my way of letting my clients know, hey, if you do shoot me a text message or you do call or send me an email and it's on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, those are usually my number one days where I'm prepping for an event or I am actually hosting an event. And so I want to dedicate 100% of my time to my client. And so hopefully my client understands and also knows that when it's their event date, I'm going to dedicate 100% of my time to them. I'm not going to be on the phone talking to another bride or going through something about a different event. I'm going to be handling the event at hand, and then I will return those phone calls during business hours Monday, as soon as I can on Monday. I'm going to respond to emails and I'm going to return those calls, and then whomever I do not speak to on Monday, we will schedule that time. Also, in my onboarding guide, it talks about the proper processes for scheduling meetings in person. You feel, and I don't want anyone to get the feeling like, oh my gosh, if I send her an email or a text message, it's never going to get answered 24 hours, 72 hours later, and that's really not the case. I just like to constantly remind clients that I am human. And I also know me, I have a little bit of ADHD. So if I don't follow my task, we're on wedding invitations, we're on save the dates, whatever the task is, you're handling those, and then a client calls and they're asking about a backdrop. It totally throws you. So you stop working on what it is you were working on and you handle the backdrop, but now you're behind on what you were working on. So it's very imperative that we keep that control, because again, you came to us for guidance. And so we have to kind of keep that control so that we can guide you the best way. So I think that in lieu of all what we're saying today with client expectations, how to handle those, it starts with the vendor. It starts with the event professional. We have to set that precedent and teach our clients how to work with us in a manner that makes your client, that lets your client know they are number one, but also lets them know that they're number one, but I'm still human, and so these are the ways we're going to work, and if we do it this way, then it's going to be great. And the same thing goes, with client expectations. I'd love to touch on this with requests for information. One of an event planner, especially a wedding planner or coordinator, designer's biggest pet peeve is when you request information, it's then provided to you in bits and pieces, and then we then have to go back. So for example, guest list. The reason that that's one of the first things that we ask clients to work on is because it's usually one of the longest and hardest things for clients to work on. I have lots of clients that come in and we've got 200 people. Well, that number kind of goes down once we discuss budgets. And then if it doesn't go down, it goes down once those save the dates and those invitations go out, because one of the hardest things to do is to get people to RSVP in a timely manner. But the other thing that makes it more difficult or even harder is when information is not provided. So if you have a guest list that's 200 people, and then let's say you forgot a couple of people, that planner now has to go back and not only address any forgotten invitations, which takes time, but they now have to go back and enter that information into the different areas. If you're doing a guest list online, if you're, if they're doing the RSVP tracking for you, it takes time. And so a lot of times that, depending on your planner and how services work, it can also add to your budget. So you just want to be mindful, clients, that when information is requested, that it is provided in a timely manner. There is a reason that your event professional is asking for that information at the time that they do. So you want to make sure that you are providing that in a timely manner. And event professionals, you want to make sure that you are discussing and communicating and explaining to your clients your processes and also the reason behind your processes, because then it helps people have a little bit better understanding. And I'm gonna leave you with this because I think that it was very, it's one of those light bulb came on. But it was a podcast I listened to called Planners in Training, or Planner Training, that I absolutely love. And one of the experts that spoke, she spoke about your OBGYN. Guys, this will be a little foreign for you, but any of my mothers out there or anyone who has worked with or gone through that experience with someone, in even myself, when you get your OBGYN, one of the first things that they let you know is that they are one of the doctors on your staff. Meaning when you have your baby, you might be working with the doctor that you've seen. There may be another doctor if that doctor is on vacation. There's usually 3 to 4 doctors, maybe more in bigger cities, but my experience, there's usually 2 or 3 doctors, and the doctor that you've been working with every day or at your appointments may not necessarily be the doctor that you work with on the day your child is born. You cannot call your OBGYN at 2 o'clock in the morning when you had an idea or a thought about a baby or a question. What they've done is they have set up nurses hotlines to answer those questions for you. But my point behind that is you kind of got to think about it in that sense. Yes, you are paying this person and you are trusting them with one of the most important situations in your life, which is the birth of a child. But even in that situation, you cannot reach out and talk to that doctor every time an idea pops into your head. So my point tonight was to not be discouraging in any way. It was to try to bridge that gap of understanding as far as client expectation and client expectation as well as vendor expectations. Vendors, our clients can only expect what we set up. So let's set up great expectations, provide excellent customer service, and make sure that we are delivering, making sure that we are communicating our processes. And once that is done, I think that clients will feel a little bit better about what's going on and why things take the time that they do. And if you let them know that information up front, it's easier to digest. So I do hope that I shed some light for my potential wedding clients, for those who are planning weddings and working, even with other vendors. I hope that helped a little bit. If you're already working with a planner and you're kind of, well, how come she didn't get back to me or respond to that email? Hopefully that planner is communicating the process to you, but try to just be a little more understanding that us planners are humans too. We get sick, we have children, but at the same time, this is our business, so we do have to set the environment for you. And that can be done, again, with onboarding guides, proper communication, task lists. I love Trello. Trello is an excellent way of delegating tasks. I personally use HoneyBook. HoneyBook is great with communications. It keeps track of everything. You can add people. So anyone who works with me, you already are familiar with that client portal called HoneyBook. And I actually myself, this is something, again, that's near and dear to my heart. So I am still working on these things myself and to bring my clients excellent customer service. Thank you guys for joining me for Wedding Wise Wednesdays. We do have some excellent vendors that are coming up later on this month. We will be talking with Chacons. good eats and sweet treats. And we will also be speaking with designer Corey Winborn, and he is going to be giving us a great inside look on a groom bridal style. Thank you so much for joining me today, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your week.